which is a very sensitive issue. Very triggering, sensitive issue. Signs of abuse. Signs of abuse. I want to see if we can connect the dots with this. And I know we can. And I know we will. First, isolation from friends. Anyone that's involved in domestic abuse, and by the way, you know, domestic abuse can be verbal and physical. It's not just physical, it's also verbal. Big up Lucian Sylvester. Abuse is also verbal and physical. Let's start with the first. First, isolation from friends. You'll find people that are in domestic violence, they are isolated from their friends, from their support. Second, the abuser is telling the abused what to do. I want us to keep this in mind. So let me start again. The first is isolation from your friends. Second is the abuser is telling the abused what to do. Third, they're telling the abused what to wear. Oh, you shouldn't wear that. Or you can't wear that. Very abusive. Fourth, they're always monitoring your phone. Who are you talking to? Who's that? Who's that? Why are they calling you at this time? And as you said, includes traits of narcissism, narcissistic personalities. Absolutely right. Definitely community abuse. Yeah. Yeah. Fifth, telling you like where you work, always harassing you about your work or where to work. Six, punishing you to listen. Basically, domestic abuse or violence is that the abuser will punish the abused. Punish you for listening to others. That's number 6. Punishing you for listening to others. 7. Punishing you for breaking the rules. We're talking about domestic violence. The abuser will punish the abused by, oh, you broke the rules. You didn't come in at this time. Where's the food? Where's this? Why did you do that? You get punished. Right. Yeah? Number 8. It's for your own good. I'm going to punish you because it's for your own good. That's what the abuser or the abused is told. Number 9. You're not allowed to question anything. Don't question what I tell you to do. Number 10. Famous word. Gaslighting. You'll find that the abuser will always gaslight the victim. Gaslight you. Yeah? Anyone that knows what gaslighting is when you make a person feel a certain type of way to make them doubt their own selves, their own thoughts. Gaslight you. What's an example of gaslighting? Give me an example of gaslighting. Yeah, telling you what to wear. Gaslighting is like, I'm going to, for example, maybe it was your fault. Maybe it was your fault why we didn't get the post today. Maybe you gave the Amazon or the parcel deliveries the wrong address. It was your fault. Gaslighting, making you feel guilty for something. Gaslighting, there's better examples than that. 11, name calling. We're talking about signs of abuse. Name calling. Number 12, the abuser always wants to control the info. Now, how can we do a symmetrical mirror, yeah, to domestic abuse? The government, what do? Isolate you. Isolate you from friends and family. Yeah, Shaggy said, it wasn't me. Another example of gaslighting. Yeah, that's a perfect example. So, it wasn't me. No. It wasn't me. Okay. Isolate you from your friends and your family. Number 2, telling you what to do. Has the state told us what to do? You can't go here, you can't go there, you can't fly out, you can't travel, you have to do this, you have to do that. Telling you what to wear. Can anyone tell me where we're told what to wear? Yes, obviously. You got to wear this, take it on, take it off. Visor on, visor off. 4, monitoring emails. See, the abuser monitors your means of communication. Are we not being monitored as we speak? Are we not being traced? That's why you got DuckDuckGo search engines, because obviously the other one is being traced. Everything's been traced. Everything's been monitored. 5, where to work. So you can't go to certain places and work unless you have certain things. That's abuse. Number 6, punishment for listening to others. People, bear with me on this. You can play this back. People, get people in the room today, because we're going in today. And we're not going to just talk about the problems. Over here at Black Car Speakers Lounge, we equate film with reality. Because we're into film. We watch film. Myself, I work in the movie entertainment industry, and there's always a relationship between the two. Movies have a way of telling us stories. Yeah, it's the old way of telling fables. So as I was saying, number 6, punishment for listening to others. You're not allowed to listen to people like, for example, David Icke or Joe Rogan, or what's the other dude, Alex Jones, or Minister Farrakhan, or anyone outside of that medium. You're not allowed to listen. Oh, you're an anti this, or you're conspiracy theorist that. So you're not allowed to listen to others. That's domestic abuse. Listen very carefully, people. Vaccinated versus the unvaccinated, all of that stuff. Punishment for breaking the rules. So if you walk road now and there's a lockdown, so to speak, you get told, well, you're gonna have to pay a £200 fine. Or you get on a train and you're not wearing your mask, for example, you get punished for breaking the rules. Notice I said rules, not laws. Get to know the difference. A lot of you don't know the difference. You're still falling for this, oh, it's the law. It's not the law, it's rules. Big difference. Very key to understand. Number 8, it's for your own good. Where have we heard that before? You can't gather in Christmas. It's for your own good. You can't hang out in social venues. It's for your own good. Stay at home. It's for your own good. Work from home. It's for your own good. Take certain things. It's for your own good. Even though you should know yourself and have bodily autonomy. Number 9, don't question nothing. And we've got 9 people here right now. Number 9, don't question anything. That is abuse. You're not allowed, in church, you're not allowed to question God. Oh, religious people, they're guilty of domestic abuse as well. Come on, let's be real. Religious people are guilty of domestic abuse. You are, yes, the congregation have been abused. You abuse your congregation and you guilt trip them, and you tell them if they don't pay certain money, they go to hell. That's domestic, in-house, in church, in mosque, in synagogue, in temple abuse. And many of you parishioners, parishioners, those that go to the congregation, you're having it. Yeah. They go, whilst number 10 go to parties. That was funny. Boris Johnson is turning it up. Funny, but serious. Yeah, don't question anything. We're not allowed to question anything in society. Just don't question it. Just follow the science. Follow the science. Follow this. Don't question it though. You're not allowed to question the teacher in school. Remember, if you question the teacher in school, detention. Reflection now, they call it. Number 10, gaslighting. If you question anything that comes out on the breakfast news, then you're seen as an anti-something. Gaslighting. Gaslighting. You're not allowed to think for yourself. Number 11, name calling. You're an anti-vaxxer, you are. You're a conspiracy theorist. Ooh, maybe I am. Gaslighting. Number 12, control of info. Now, number 12, control of info. Is not the state controlling the information. Is not the state controlling the information. Big up, Kevin Lane. How you doing, my broski? The control of information. People, are we not having information controlled? Have you not heard this week that they're saying, okay, if you now want to talk about, the internet has to be controlled now because there's a lot of bullying going on and there's a lot of misinformation going on. So we have to control the internet, whilst at the same time, other rules are coming out. But yet, where was that same energy for when children are going missing? Where is that same energy for when children are being kidnapped? Where's that same energy where children are being tricked on the internet? Yeah? Where's that same protection for the children? So, these are the signs of domestic abuse. Mask off. Your government, no matter where you are, they are domestically abusing you. Next point, what are we going to do about it? I'm not talking about march down the street and start beating up people and start physical war. No. We're not doing that over here. How my camera look, man? The camera look good, innit? We're not talking about that. We're talking about peaceful and lawful rebellion by questioning everything. Yeah? We can't. What are we going to do about it as a community, as a collective? Whether you're vaxxed or unvaxxed or whatever. Are we, can you agree with me that we are under domestic abuse? Are we being abused, or is this for our own good? Is this for our own good? You can't fly out and see your loved one? Is this for our own good that you can't go out and work? Is this for your own good that you can't see your family during Christmas, whether you celebrate Christmas or not? Is it for your own good? What kind of psychological effect is it having on you during winter time? We've said this many a times. Kevin Bennett, I'm bringing you right in, my brother. What have we said? During winter time, people are depressed. More than ever, statistically, people are committing suicide. Yes? People are on medicinals. Yeah? Let me show you my medicinal. And it's not white rum. What are we going to do about it? You can't go to work unless you take a certain test. You have to do it. You have no option but to do it. Yet there are options that you can take, but you're not afforded the right to take those options. This is signs of domestic government abuse of the people. What are you going to do about it? Let's just go along. Are you going to go along with this in 2022? To the ladies out here, most of you, some of you, I don't want to assume, you know a friend that's been through domestic abuse. And you advise them, oh, you should leave. You should leave. And some of them are still in that situation. But you try to help your friend because you know they're in a situation that can kill them. A domestic, and remember, domestics is verbal and physical, or physical. And by the way, men are victims of domestic violence too. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're victims too. By the way, the statistics are not far away from each other. And I'm not just talking about physical, verbal violence on men. What are we going to do about the abuse if we agree that it's abuse? What are we going to do now? Are we going to just keep going back to the state? We're going to keep going back to that partner? And why is it that we put up with domestic abuse? And I'm talking about at home, and I'm talking about in relationship to state, to the monopoly of power that the state have over the people via the consent. What are we going to do? Well, I've got to keep my job. Oh, but they do this. Oh, but he looks after me. Oh, but she's got my children. Oh, he's got my children. So you stay. Why do we stay? And I'm not judging you. Is it because we have fear? Foreseeing expectations appearing real. Fear is the biggest slave master today. We are afraid of losing our homes. We are afraid of losing our car. We are afraid of losing our husbands, our wives, and our comfort. We're too comfortable. Oh, let me just do what the state says, even though they're domestically abusing you. What do we do to escape this modern day slave master known as fear? This Stockholm syndrome. We need to offer some solutions today. Yeah? What do we do? Because we can talk about the problem. I mean, all right, let's go there. Many of you don't want to take the something. What are you going to do about it? Many of you don't want to do the tests. What are you going to do about it? Many of you want to fly out, but you don't want to comply to what's going on in Ghana, for example. But what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Many of you have been told that you've got to leave your jobs in January or February or March. because you're care workers. What are you going to do about it? I want to hear solutions. 1 in 6, 7 men are victims of domestic abuse. Facts. But I'm going to say we are all victims of domestic abuse. And guess what? We're co-signing and consenting to it if we do nothing and say nothing. We are only governed by the government are governing us by our consent. We can talk about we need to stand together and stop following sheep. And I'm telling you, whether you're for the thing or against it, that's not the point. I'm asking the question, are we under domestic governmental abuse? And I believe you agree with me, yes. Some of you say it's for our own good. Remember, that's one of the signs of domestic violence. Systematic domestic violence we're talking about in relation to state and people. They can take your citizenship now. You can't go where you want to go. Yeah, but the virus. By the way, for all of you out there that are feeling sickly, cough, a little bit of the snivels, you may have a positive with the thing. You do realize that this is flu season right now, don't you? You do realize that the anxiety and the fear that has been heaped upon you lowers your immune system. All this year, we've been doing these podcasts, these lives, and I've had people who are nutritionists, psychologists, therapists, and we've told you the natural remedy to stop the sickness. First, turn off your TV. Stop listening to too much blues. And secondly, there's vitamins you can take. Just because you got the cold or the sniffles, it doesn't mean you got the vid. This is flu season. And I'm going to go further. So what if you got it? Because most of us will survive. But condolences to those who have passed away from it. But guess what? People pass away from the flu. Anyway, let's bring in Kevin Bennett. Kevin Bennett, come in, my bro. I'm sorry to keep you. Let me bring in Kevin Bennett. Because we're going to talk about this from a psychological aspect. We're talking about masks off. We're talking about masks off. And by the way, the picture of the tragedy and the comedy is the mask. It comes from Greek theatre. Movies like Me, Myself and Irene. I want you to remember movies like that and why they bring out movies like that and what it actually means. Mr. Kevin Bennett.
How you doing, sir? How you
doing, brother? How you doing, brother? Brother, I want to say first and foremost, I hope you don't mind me saying this before everyone. Condolences, bro.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Condolences to you and to mum. Because I understand, brother, that you told me personally that you had to bury your brother.
Yeah, yesterday.
But I empathize with you because I've lost a brother as well in the past. And family, just losing a family, you know what? That's something close to the heart. And but brother, I want everyone to big up Kevin Bennett for coming on today. He's going through what he's going through, but yet he's still willing to come forward and to share his solutions to the subject matter that we got today. And I want to say big up to you, Kevin Bennett, and to your family. On the behalf of Black Heart Speakers Lounge and everyone on this platform, we send condolences, love, and light to you, to mum, to your whole entire family. We send light and positive energy, brother. R.I.P. to your brother that's passed on to the next life, to the next world. And brother, you're looking sharp. You're looking well. You're looking well, my brother. And
we sometimes I was doing a session with someone about a week ago, and they said they feel like crap, and I said you don't need to look like it. You know, so no matter how we feel, sometimes we got to jumpstart ourselves from the outside. So a few hours, a shave, etc. I just had a nice long hot bath.
Come on.
And just taking time out, man. Just trying to get back to that place, you know. And it's a journey. Yeah. It's a pendulum. And that's all we're doing. It's not where our emotions go. It just goes from one side of the pendulum to another. So, you know, I never proclaim to say I'm always on point. I'm not on point right now. Far from it. But you know, we find our strength in our servitude. You know, so that's where I'm at the moment. You know, in order for me to feel good, I feel like I have to serve.
Brilliant, brother. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That's where it's at. So, brother, we were talking about this in terms of solutions. And I think I'll go more into this. And by the way, people listening, we've got solutions in terms of how you can circumnavigate your way through the domestic, governmental, state-like violence that is being committed upon the people. Make no mistake, there is violence being committed upon the people, black, white, young, old, even rich and poor, but definitely the poor working class. But there's solutions. There are solutions. And Kevin Bennett has been with us throughout this year doing our lives. And he's given us some deep solutions to many of the traumas that we go through. Because all of this in the system right now, talking about the Greek alphabet, Omicron and all that kind of stuff, all of it is anxiety. All of it causes fear. All of it causes distress. And it's violence. And Kevin, if you look at the videos we've done this year, Kevin's been our most consistent guest. He offered solutions on our YouTube channel and on this page of Black Class Speakers Lounge. And me and Kevin were talking about, you know, the movie, Me, Myself and Irene, starring the great Jim Carrey, where he was wearing a mask all the time, like pretending that things didn't hurt him. And eventually it just bubbled up until this other his real self came out. A lot of us are living this fake life that, oh, we're good, I'm fine, look at my pictures, I'm in Barbados, I'm in Cancun, I'm in the Middle East, I got money, everything's good. Lies. I'm not saying that we ain't living good, a lot of us are. But believe you me, I'm not posting up pictures if I'm really living good all the time. I ain't got time for that. So a lot of it, the Instagram, the social media is another mask. And that also represents and creates another trauma. It creates another trauma, you know, and so, and it also creates more depression, especially when there's a lack of sunlight. So we're looking at solutions today. Who's echoing? Someone's echoing. Am I echoing? Yeah, I'm echoing, I think. Thank you for letting me know. Echoing, like a sound system. Echoing? Are we still echoing, people? How my mic sound nice? No? Let's see. All right, Kevin, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I mean, man, there's so many different angles and perspectives we can come from concerning this situation. You know, I've been looking to it even more and even deeper, and you know, the more you go down the rabbit hole, it's very interesting what you discover. So, for example, this whole kind of like, you know, the V situation, the vid, and you know what they're doing. It's a bit deeper as well, because you now got the new metaverse that they're trying to introduce, but the metaverse is actually a war against this reality that we are so called in at the moment. And so the government's trying to hold on in their way. The old world, which is 2D, internet's trying to hold on in their way, but what's creeping up and taking all power is the metaverse. And so this is what's really happening behind the scenes. We've got, it's not just countries that's going to wars now, it's universes. You know, it's the metaverse that, you know, Mark Zuckerberg and these lots trying to take over, but I don't think he's going to manage to take over the new metaverse. There's powerhouses that are more powerful than Mark Zuckerberg in the new metaverse, and the government's trying to hold on, and so everyone's trying to fight for the data, and the data are the people, and we're just kind of like in the middle. You know, like when you got different parents, one parent's on one side and the parent on the other side, they're both saying, come to me, come. And then after a while, one parent realizes, come to me doesn't work. I'm going to tell the child, if you don't come to me, I'm going to smack you. And so all of a sudden, that's what's happening. There's different universes, there's different worlds right now that are fighting for the data of the people and the consent of the people as well.
The consent.
And no matter what happens, the metaverse is going to win. But in the meantime, there's going to be a lot of casualties, and the casualties come in the form of the people, and the casualties come in the form of the SMEs, the small, medium companies, etc.
Right. Cool. This is it, brother. And you know, you said something about data. People, sorry for echoing. All right, for example, I went to this place in Peckham, and they were asking me for my passport, and I said, I'm not leaving the country. No, your COVID passport. I'm like, well, yeah, I only use a passport when I'm leaving the country. What do you want that for? And they said, well, you got to show it your medical status in order to get in this club. And I said, no, I don't. I won't. And I sure will be recording these things. And I said, I want to talk to your supervisor. And he was like, oh, I said, no, I want to talk to your supervisor because under the Equalities Act, people, make note, 2010 Equalities Act. I don't know why I'm still echoing, but we'll work through it. Under the Equalities Act, there's protective characters, which is disabled, race, gender, religion, and you cannot discriminate on those bases. So if I am unable to take any medicine and I am denied public access, then that is called discriminatory practice. People, look it up. If you want to go out, go and abide by the 2010 Equalities Act. More importantly, or in addition, as to what Kevin's saying, to be on Instagram, to be on Facebook, to be on Snapchat, to be on Twitter, everybody, hardly anyone does this. We never ever look at the what they call it, the cookies, where they say what you consent to. It's your data. I'm advising everyone, go quickly scan and read the GDPR, Data Protection Act 2018. We say this every week. You do not have to. That's right. That's right. Civil partnerships, pregnancy, maternity, race, religion, belief, sex. You do not have to give away your data. Your medical data is your business. How dare anyone, like a pub or restaurant, or even a workplace, ask you for your data? What are they going to do with it? You can ask to speak to their data officer of their company. This is what you do. Tell them, is your company regulated? Go ahead. Oh, okay. Is your company regulated by the Data Protection Act 2010? He's coming back. Ask the supervisor of that club, for example. And they should be. Ask for a first and last name, record it as evidence, and tell them that you're going to bring a civil claim against them. They cannot discriminate against anyone, and you do not have to show paperwork on your phone to get into a club. That is invasion and trespass of your private information. The only way they can get away with that is by, if you or I consent, by showing them that paperwork. By showing someone the paperwork, you're consenting. Let me tell you something. For example, we're talking about domestic violence. By a woman, start to say, by the woman staying in that situation with a domestic violent person, verbal or physical, start to say, you are consenting. No matter how many of your girlfriends say you should leave him, you should leave him, you should leave him, by your action, by staying there, sadly, and I disagree, you are consenting. So we have to remove our consent. Don't check up the 2018 GDPR rules on your data. No club can deprive you. And that's why a lot of shops are closing. A lot of places are closing down. If you don't notice, lockdown has already started. People, get to know your right. We always say this. And we say it because as the creative community, those of you who are actors, singers, and artists, a lot of you have been forced to do things against your will, which is another form of abuse. But you're doing it because you don't know any better. And when you don't know any better, you are afraid and you're fearful. And that fear, as a consequence, causes a lower immunity. Have you not noticed a lot of people I've been speaking to this week have come up as positive, or with the snivels, or with this and that? Because we're surrounded by anxiety. To combat the anxiety, I'm telling you, it goes back to a simple thing, and that means just little things like reading. Reading and knowledge gives you so much confidence. the fear dissipates people. Number one medicine. Number one medicine. If you're listening to madness, how are we going to boost our immunity? Kevin, sorry, I was just taking over the floor while you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're spot on. You're right. You're right. Here's the thing, right? I have meetings with team members, and we have some really frank and honest, advanced meetings. And if we was to have that conversation right now, which I'd love to have, the question that I'd like to pose to people who are looking in, how much are they willing to really listen? But more importantly, how much are they willing to act upon what they hear? You know, because no matter what we say, 9 times out of 10 people just listen, and all of a sudden they switch over to another channel because it's TV to them. It's not something, advice that they're going to take seriously. So in the next few years, the metaverse, as I have to talk about so much, is going to finally start to rear its head. And for me, in order to be powerful, it's a bit like pre-internet, right? Imagine someone said pre-internet, there's going to be a world where you could be the next Jeff Bezos, you could be the next Mark Zuckerberg. Well, who's Mark Zuckerberg? Who's Jeff Bezos, you would say back then. Do you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, years become years, and then you wish you could go back in time in order to create the Facebook or the Amazon or the Google. And so this new metaverse is that now. You know, is that now. You can be, but it's even deeper than money. It's about having a powerful position on this planet or off this planet, either way you see it. And so what's coming in now, what governments that are trying to hold on to the people, and they're using fear to do so. Yeah, you got the metaverse now that's pulling in the people, and they're using gaming at the moment. Yeah, and so you've got all these different companies that are trying, or this different companies, organizations, conglomerates are trying to now get the people on side one way or the other. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's just like when you watch those zombie films. Do you know how many zombies they are? But you never seem to recognize their faces because they're just numbers. And so they've got us like zombies, like just numbers there, while the game just presents itself. Yes. The winners become winners. The actors, the main actors, become more famous within it, and that's what's happening. That's why, you know, people talk about Fauci. They're the main actors of a game that's happening, and we're just the zombies in between the games. You know, and what I'm more want to introduce to people is change your position from being one of the little zombies on the screen to being a main actor, a part of the credits. And that's how we have to start looking at things now, because the game's playing itself out.
Go ahead.
So even for myself, I'm now putting things in place for the meta universe.
Yes, sir. You know, you said a key word about acting. Let me tell you, Shakespeare said, the world is a stage, and we are all other actors. Mm-hmm. And I love the law. I'm beginning to love the law more and more. There's a reason why it's called Acts of Parliament. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why it's called statutes. Mm-hmm. Statutes of the law. When you're looking at theatre, you have statutes, you have props. People, we've got to understand the language here, what Kevin's saying. And by the way, the word meta is a part of the Greek alphabet, or comes from the word metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is where you get the word morpheus as well, which means to change. Big up all my Matrix fans. I'm going to be watching Matrix next week. I can't wait. Sorry, I can't wait. And we're going to do a talk on the Matrix as well. Big up my Matrix fans. Big up Andrew, the investigator. He's the king daddy of breaking down the Matrix for 20 plus years. But anyway, so it's called Acts of Parliament. Statutes. No coincidence they use the term acts. Acts because it's not real. Listen to me good. An act of Parliament is not law. It's not real. So we are all characters. Look at the word, characters. We are all playing our part. For example, when two people are dating, oh, what do you do? Not who you are. The question is, oh, what do you do? Because we're all playing a part. We all, police wear a uniform. That's a part of their costume. Nurses, we all wear a uniform. And what you wear kind of influences your conduct and how you speak and carry yourself. I work for TFO, or I work for the British Transport Police, I work for the NHS, I work for this and that. And whoever you work for, you conduct yourself because you're a character playing a role. Each and every one of us are characters. The Bible is called scripture. People, script. We're all following a script. And what Kevin is saying here, we all can write our own script in life. We say this on Black Card Speakers Lounge. You determine your destiny. Every man has a right to decide his own destiny. So when we're sitting as victims, oh, the system, the one we are the actual ones being abused domestically by the state. We can get out and rewrite our own character as one who is the victor, or continue to be the victim. And literally, that's what Kevin's saying. We have to have a metamorphosis. These people that the multi-billionaire, trillionaire platforms like the Zuckerbergs, oh, they're going there. Soon, this is going to be a thing of the past. You'll be able to do things like this on contact lens, AI.
Well, that's actually just being created at the moment, and I'm actually looking in to start to build my own already. I want to be first out the gate, from our community or from wherever. I want to be first out the gate. So I'm actually prepping my side now and actually talking to developers and how to do it, because we're in 2D, and I say within the next easily 2015 we're going to be deeply inside 3D, and the 3D world is a whole another world. We won't even begin to decipher between what is reality and what is not reality. And I give that 4 years, 3 years. That's how soon it's going to be. So we need to start really prepping. If we want to be powerful, here's the thing. If we want to be powerful, we need to understand what real estate we're stepping in and what we're stepping on and what we're buying into and what we're not buying into. Because we're going into a whole new world of real estate. And that's the virtual world. And that's what's going to be happening. Our lifestyles, mindset, finances, jobs, is going to be integrated into this 3D world.
Work from home.
So what is happening right now? And we need to get started. We're always the last to the gate, and we wonder why we don't have no power. Sometimes power is about getting first to the gate and understanding what's going on and creating something so you have some leverage. Do you know right now they're building the other universe where at the moment they've created Miami. Miami's being created in this universe.
They created, sorry, what?
They're creating Miami at the moment. So I think Miami's almost finished in this new universe that they created. So what they're doing is they're making a duplicate of our world, but they're going to make it better, whatever better may mean. So that's what we should be doing right now.
Yep.
Who's going to be creating Jamaica? Who's going to be creating Africa? Who's going to be in this new world? Who's going to be creating all these new different things? Because apps is going to be gone. In order for the 3D world to work, the 2D world must die. So Google will be gone, or Google searches will be gone. Apps will be gone. All of those will be gone, and I predict within the next few years. That's how quick it's moving. And so once they go, then everything else is about either what you say or what you think, and then it starts to morph into the hardware that you'll be wearing. Like as you said, it could be glasses, or it could be contact lenses, or it could be headsets, or whatever it may be. But I mean, it's here already in the world of gaming, but now they're starting to turn it into a whole universe. And this is the reason why you see Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg actually is late to the game. They're actually laughing at Mark Zuckerberg. He's late to the game. So when you see that they're changing Facebook to Meta, that's what it's about. It's a
And
whole new.
Instagram as well. Meta.
Sorry.
Meta is well, Facebook own Instagram and they own WhatsApp.
But once again, Instagram and WhatsApp in the new world doesn't even have a place, and that's what he's trying to do right now. He's trying to somehow turn them into 3D. And the new boys. Because there's a guy out there, 27 years old. He's richer than Mark Zuckerberg.
Wow.
And he's one of the ones that's a part of creating the new meta world, the meta universe.
Come on.
So that's also a whole nother universe that is there. And my thing is, in order for us to take back control, we need to understand about this new world, and we need to start creating our own engines. We need to start creating our own countries, our own islands within this new meta world.
Yes.
And once we're creating, then we can start carrying leverage. See, the problem is, it's the same as like saying we want to change laws, but we're not part of parliament.
Yeah.
You know, we need to shut down governments, but we don't have an army of any type. You know, these things, and we don't have any. We don't have a team. We don't have a network. We don't have influence. All we do, what we've got, which is what we're very good at, we've got a complaint.
Yes.
We've got a very good complaint, but we don't have no strength or no power. So my thing at the moment is, I'm like, okay, it's like, you know, sometimes you watch boxers or you watch UFC or you watch any form of sport where there's rounds. And sometimes, you know, the boxer or the UFC fighter may say, do you know what? You've got me on this round. I'm not going to try to win this round. You've got me. It's your round. And so sometimes we've got to say, they've got us on this round. But we've got to start prepping for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds.
Yeah, we've got a road to go with.
And that's the meta world. And I can't talk about it enough in order for me to get people to understand that the new meta world is where the fight should be. That's where we should be prepping for. Because if we can control that world, then we can reverse all what's happening now. Because what's happening now is already being put in place. We're kind of punching upwards. We need to go in front of them and start putting some things together. Just like when you used to watch, or if you watch Terminator, they're always coming back from the past, from the future, to stop certain things before it gets to where it got to. It's the same mindset. You got to now think future in order to make sure that the past is not too destroyed.
Can I just quickly interject on that? See, people are like, 2022 is my year. 2022 is my blessings. 2022 is all about me. New me, 2022. Yo, 2022 by the wise and the elite has already been done. They've patterned out that whole year already. This thing is like Monopoly, that game. And it is a game. It's a game. This whole thing, down to the court system, it's a game. There's one judge, one versus the other. That's why it's called a court. And that's why when you watch Wimbledon, it's called a tennis court. What basketball, NBA, tennis court, squash court. They use the term court to display a game, or the jester at the court, Hampton Court. So,
well, even the same thing when you're inside of a court. It's a game that goes back and forth. That's why you need to understand the legal definitions of every single thing, and you need to understand the law, because all the game, everything has rules that you need to understand in order for you to play the game. So the game, when people take this too seriously, that's when they lose. Aggression on every game, you're default the loser. Too much aggression in tennis, you lose. Yeah, too much in the courtroom, in boxing, all of that, too much aggression. We need to move away from not being emotional and start working out a logical, strategic, legal, lawful way to win this game. And so what happens in every single level of this game, you need different type of players. How many programmers do we know? How many coders do we know?
Come on.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And so it's like, if you know a man that says, boy, if you get a man thumping on your face in a car, me, you know, those days are over. I don't need that type of soldier anymore. I need a soldier that says, what do you need me to code?
Wow.
That's the soldier. Do you know what I'm
Wow.
saying? We need to change the type of soldiers we've got around us. We need to change the
Say that
type
again.
of people. Do you know what? Let me know if someone put their hand on you, you know. Remember that kind of talk before?
Yeah.
Bro, if someone put their hand on you, let me know, you know. Just give me a call, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I don't need that kind of soldier anymore. Let me know what the government,
The
how you want
kids
to
are
do
the
it.
soldiers right now.
And I'll call me in and let me put some coding together for you. So we need to change, we need to come out of the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, even the 2000 way of thinking. We need to start thinking like it's 3031 right now.
Oh, wow.
And that's where we need to start going.
Come
And
on.
if we don't do that, all we're going to be on the outside looking in, complaining because it's raining outside. And so that's why I say we need to stop being the complainers and
Yes,
start building the infrastructure to the new world.
that's right.
That's what needs to be done. That's a solution. There's no other solution. If you want more housing, build the housing.
Come on.
If you build more money, create the opportunities. If you want to survive in this new world, you have to build the engines. You have to build the demand. So there's 4 components: the engines, the demand, the software, and the hardware, which is pretty much with an engine, and the hardware. So it's pretty much 3: demand, software, hardware. That's what we should be focused on right now. So if we was in a mastermind group right now and we was having a mastermind conversation, the conversation would be this: okay, Courtney, who's going to be focused on the demand? All right, he'll do it. Let's create a demand. All right, who's working on software? I'll sort out software. Okay, get a team of 10.
Team.
What do you need to know? Okay, they need to know about this, this, and this. What kind of coding they need to know? Maybe they need to know about .NET a bit, but because they're going into this world, we've learned about this. Great. Who knows how to do the hardware side? All right, we need to go and build a team. This is the conversation we should be having right now when it comes to homes. Do you know what I mean? What should children be learning? I'll tell you this now. If your children are not learning, yeah, the 3 components I've just said to you, right? I mean, whatever they're studying right now, unfortunately, it's going to be pretty much next door to pointless.
Come on, say that again.
And so we need to have the coders on board. We need to have the people who understand how to create demand on board, and we need to have the hardware team on board.
Okay.
And once we get those things, then we're back in the race. Time for another fight. What do you think China's doing right now? What do you think America's doing behind the scenes? The things that we're complaining. Like, listen, I don't want to hear no one say I bought the nicest car in a long time. I don't want to hear none of those conversations in the next how many years, because where the world is going, I don't want to hear about jewelry. I don't want to hear about none of that. The world has completely turned on its head, and there's a whole new universe that is parallel to our universe.
Meta. That's right. And I want people, here's some own work, everyone. Don't look at the definition and the root etymological root word of meta. Because I know a lot of people listening saying, oh, coding, computer language, oh, this is way over my head. Trust me, your children, just give them that. They will run with it. They will run. They are running this whole social media computer platform right now. Any questions for Kevin before he goes, people? Please drop it, because I'm very aware of Kevin's time. You seen something? Oh,
No,
right.
no,
I'm
no.
been keeping up with the comments.
Got a bit of a headache as well, yeah. So my
So
energy.
understand this, and you know what you're saying to me, bro. It reminds me, because I watched Spider-Man last night. No, Spider-Man, the movie Spider-Man, Marvel, the latest one. It's called, oh god, multi-universe Spider-Man, brilliant. The best one I've seen, the best Marvel movie out this year, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. I want no spoilers there, people. Doctor Strange, who he manipulates matter and opens up portals and dimensions, you know, with the ring. And the move, it reminds, it's when you say meta, it reminds me of the multi-universe. And I really believe, I always bring back to films. Movies are a perfect way of telling stories, to program people to accept what is coming. People go and watch Spider-Man, by the man. I loved it. I loved it. So I know I'm not digressing, but I love. Hey, go. This is Black Car Speakers Lounge, so we always have to keep it with films as well. But I love Spider-Man the movie. Big up Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and other things, you know. Boom, 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 boom. But when you watch it, Doctor Strange is talking about the opening of the portals. What we're in right now on a spiritual and a technological level, people, is there's a portal that is open. And we can open up that spiritual portal and as well as the technological one and walk through it. However, the flip side of that, there's another portal open that you don't want to go through. And that's the portal of fear. That's the portal of depression. That's the portal of lack. And that's the portal of defeat. You don't want to go through that. That is the portal of domestic violence being committed to you, by you, consented in relationship with the state. In one sense, there's one thing going on over here, but there's another portal taking place. And guess what, Christians? It actually goes into technology and meta in the Bible and in the Holy Quran and all of the great ancestral books. It goes into all of these things. You all right there, Kate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Just
So
a headache.
it goes into all of these things. Brother, I'm not going to keep you because I know you've had a lot to deal with. So people, every time you pray, you're opening up that portal. But what Kevin's saying here, tell us what you're saying in conclusion, my brother. You're best. You're more qualified than I am.
All I'm saying is this, right? Because, you know, in previous interviews, conversations we've had, you know, we've spoken about how to deal with things from a universe perspective, you know, how to deal with things when it comes to the planets, how to deal with things when it comes to how the moon works and how the sun works, etc. We've spoken about so many different areas. If you was to do a compilation of all the conversations we've had, this is the ideal time now to have a conversation about the next stage of what to do. And I think sometimes in life, when we suggest to people what to do, they think about how hard it is until they realize they have no choice but to be a part of something they could have been a creator of. And so,
yes,
honestly, it's really time, even if it's for yourself, you believe you're too old or you're not a part of that anymore, but you've got nephews or you've got children, this is the time you have to be a good leader and urge them one way or another to focus on the new world and what needs to be done, and that the simple fact they need to be an architect in this new world. And if they're not an architect in this new world, they're going to be renting in this new world. And as we know, just by saying if you're not taking the vaccine or if you're not taking certain things, you're going to be shut out. So don't be shut out of something that you can be a creator of.
right.
That's my real advice. It's like whatever you're reading right now is probably not more important than you researching where this new world is going and what needs to be done in order to not just be a part of this new world, but to be an architect of this new world. Whatever you're doing, weekend or whatever, is probably not more important than learning what needs to be done in order to be an architect. You need to be an owner of this new world. You need to now start working out what is priorities in your life, to move that aside in order to integrate new things in order for you to be a powerhouse. It's a bit like me coming back. Okay, let's say we're all living in 2021, we're here, right? But we go back to 1993. What would we now tell our younger selves? We'd be like, listen, see this thing on the internet, create something called Amazon, and this is how you do it. You see this thing, do something called Facebook, or do something, whatever your name will be. People's going to be interchanging and into whatever it may be and into conversations, and eventually there's going to be marketplaces that are virtual, and there's going to be shops that are virtual. There's going to be all these different things. People are going to be delivering food to your door just by using something called an app. Like, it's just, it wasn't that long ago. Early 1991 wasn't that long ago in the grand scheme of all what happened in this period of time. Because we're in the age of Aquarius, we're in the information age, everything speeds up. So now, and when it comes to the age of Aquarius, and now things are speeding up,
Yep.
it's compounding. So things are advancing 5, 10, 8, 15-fold.
Yes.
And so they're getting ready for 5G to come in. When 5G is official, the world will officially change. And so what needs to be done? I can't state it enough. Trust me, people will wish that this conversation, what they've had, what we're having right now, they'll wish that they acted upon it a lot quicker. If they don't, within the next few years, I would predict.
Yes, sir. Brother, I'm not going to keep you. I'm not going to keep you no longer. As someone said here, make sure you look after yourself, recharge, and take time. Yeah, you hear me? Take time. So I'm not going to keep you. I think what you said is enough for people to start thinking. Enough to revolution of the mind. To start thinking is enough to, big up John Smith. Long time, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, I bet Mr. Smith, the same Smith, Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith is big in the game, boy. I just say that much. But I don't want to take any more of your time, brother. But again, I just want to say, brother, condolences again, and thank you for what you've done for us this year. There are so many things that Kevin has said on this platform this year. He's been our most consistent guest this year on the Black Cast Speakers Lounge, on the Black Film Institute YouTube. Man's gone into the full moon, how it affects people. Man's gone into, if you want to get rid of certain energies from your ex-relationship, you may need to change your mattress. Ladies and gentlemen, you may need to change that mattress. That mattress is still harboring your ex's energy. Did you hear me, people? That energy is still there. You know what I mean? And Kevin was like, get rid of that. Certain items in your home that you want to... People, I'm inviting you to do a cleanse. Cleanse your yard of things you don't need. These are the things that Kevin Bennett has been saying. And I know Kevin Bennett's got a therapy session that he's working on, a book that he's working on. And tell us a bit, just to succinctly tell us about that, brother, in your conclusion before you go, brother. Because I want you to be your stuff. And I know you got a migraine. You have to drink some water, my brother.
Yeah. I've just run out of some here as well.
Get some hydrated water in you. What's that? What's that you eating there?
Well, just some tangerines.
I told you I'm your brother. The tangerine, yeah. Smith, what are you saying, Smith? Smithy? I see the big Smith, big brother John Smith. So, go ahead.
So where are we now? We're December, okay? What should we be doing December? This should be a checklist. In no particular order, get rid of old underwear. Underwear needs to go. Yeah. Bring in new underwear. Sheets. Get rid of your sheets. People that have been in your sheets, different energies, different spiritual energies, etc. Trust me, they...
Sorry, brother. Kevin. Pause. I need you to, the dance hall system back in the night. Did you hear what? Ladies and gentlemen, all right. Go ahead.
A lot of things needs to go. Old mattresses needs to go. Do you know how many different bodies has been in your bed over time? Like, seriously, all right, for some people it may just be one person, I don't know. But once again, that one person could be the one person that is causing a lot of spiritual heartache in your life. You just don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's many things that needs to be filtered out. If you want to go into a new year, just don't go into a new year and say, yes, it's a fresh new year. Start getting rid of stuff. Get rid of all different energies. Simplify your life. Simple. The key to happiness is simplicity. I've never met someone that's got a complex life and they're happy. Simplicity lives alongside happiness. And so things need to start to be simple in your life. I just don't play anything that causes me a moment of stress. I get rid of in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, you know. And then once all of those things are kind of out of your life, anything that causes you stress or anything that is spiritually make you uneasy, once you've cleared all of those things up, then you start the next stage. And the next stage is about growth. And where do you need to grow? What do you need to know? Who do you need to know? What do you need to be a part of? And what do you need to acquire? And they're the things that needs to be now focused on. It doesn't make sense. We're going, like, imagine if we were so passionate about the bow and arrow, because the bow and arrow has always been good from the time when we were alive, for example, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. And now we're coming up against people that already start getting ready to use lasers. You know, so we are using the wrong tools against an enemy or
a formidable enemy.
Yeah, who are using tools that are beyond our imagination, because we're so focused in the past and we're so focused on using old tools that we cannot compete in a new world.
We can't change. We'll make that transition.
Yeah, we're too busy. Here's the thing. We especially our community.
Yes.
We live in a community where so many people are so focused on what happened in the 80s and what happened in the 90s and who was this and who wasn't that and whose baby mother's that and whose baby father used to be that and who used to be a top shotter and who ain't a shotter anymore, and people are so lost in that. That's why people who know me know that I've got a very interesting past with a very interesting set of powerful people of the past, but they never hear me talk about it. Never. And I've always been in the position that I could talk about it. I could have people interviewing me on so many different levels about the past. I have zero talk about the past. What I want to talk about now is I want to talk about the meta world. I want to talk about the meta universe.
Go ahead.
That's the conversation I want to have about now. I want to have conversations about AI. That's the conversations I want to have. I want to sit down with people who's now saying, listen, I'm looking to buy real estate. I'm looking to create Jamaica in AI. Or I'm going to do a business with Japan in the world of AI.
Big thinking, big thinking.
Exactly. I want to know how to own the sea when it comes to the meta world. I want to know how to do that, because what I'm thinking and what I'm trying to put together, and I don't mind sharing it. I'm looking. I want to. The new world, I want to make sure that mental illness is something that is eradicated in the new world, because we can tap into people's brains in the new world. So that means, do you remember Anya Shrunk the Kids, and he was in a little ship and he was inside the body, going around the body?
You mean, no, that's in a space.
Was it in a space?
Yep, it was in a space. Don't play with me with 80s movies now. Douglas Quaid, I believe it was. Douglas Quaid, bro. Don't play with me, man. In a space.
Cool.
Little ship. People go Google it. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, and so that's what I want to do. I want to create something in the new meta world, where what happens when we're going to do a session with someone, what happens, some form of probe will go into their brain and find out where the neurons is not working correctly, or where the limbic system is not doing what it needs to be done. Yeah, you're right. What is it? Yep. You're on. Yep. I can't challenge you on that one. Yep.
I remember this film was like you. I was like, wow. People go, new generation X. Oh, you call it? Is it Generation Y? I don't know. Go and Google this. You ain't seen. I feel sorry for the younger generation. They don't. We had E.T., Indiana Jones, Inner Space, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Home Alone. Go and check out this film. I believe there's a lot of predictive programming in it.
And that's what we should be doing right now. We should be looking at systems where in this new world that's coming in, we should be able to touch certain things and actually look at someone's brain and actually make adjustments in order to help people for the good. There's so many things because it's going to happen anyway, and it's happening as we speak. So we should be a part of that creation, and then that's when we're in a position to fight the evil. You can't fight evil when you're not in a powerful position.
Go ahead, brother.
Want to kind of like fight something, and they're not in a position to fight.
Do you remember this film, brother? You reminded me of this film. I'm giving everyone's Christmas films to watch. So that's Inner Space. I know it's a big back to front, but this one's called The Lawn Mower Man, which was a preamble of virtual reality with the goggles, which are talking about in terms of the meta universe. People, take note, Lawn Mower Man and Inner Space, starring Pierce Brosnan, and I forgot the other dude's name. God made him simple, science made him God. That was the tagline. God made him simple, science made him God. And that, people, Inner Space and Lawn Mower Man. Check them out. Some of them are free on YouTube. Go ahead, Kev. Sorry.
Yeah. And so that's what we need to do. That's what we need to be creators of this new world. I think we've got a chance here, because it hasn't launched yet. I mean, it has launched in its own way in the gaming world, etc. But I mean, it hasn't really, it's not there yet. And so we should be, it's just like real estate once again. It's like buying a house. You know, you look back now and you're saying, oh my gosh, only if I knew what I knew in the 80s and the 90s, I'd be a multi-millionaire now, or I'd do this real estate. So this is the conversation we're having now. This is the conversation, this is the 80s conversation that we're having in the 2000s. And so I'm looking now and saying, what can I be a part of in the future? And if we're not talking about, if every household in our community is not talking about the new meta world, we're wasting time and we're having the wrong conversations.
Come on. And you know, again, bro, you know, I'm a movie man. I mean, this is your film. Movies like Tron, Inner Space, Lawn Mower Man, 80s films. They predicted the internet. I mean, what you're saying in terms of the meta universe, the virtual reality and everyone, they're talking about now people maneuvering, literally maneuvering, where there's man them fighting, sword fighting, and they're not even moving physically, literally entering the fifth or third dimension. And they had all of these, they programmed these films, these kind of ideas. Movies are just ideas. Scripts are just ideas. And man like Spielberg and all them man had them ideas. So when you're looking at these films here now, movies, you're literally looking at them projecting into the very near, like now future.
You know what film really talks about the V and the C in its own kind of unique way? Go back and watch the original Total Recall. And 100%. How it's said, you're not a part of this new world anymore, and you're on the outside fighting to get in, or you're fighting to interrupt it. Go back and watch the original Total Recall. Make that be a part of your Christmas list. It'll be very interesting. Yeah, on what government's doing now in comparison to how that film is.
Yeah, Total Recall, which was directed by a man called, I think it was Van Hoven, a German movie. Total Recall. Yeah, Van Hoven is a German director. Yeah, and people, I'm gonna get deep now. When Arnold Schwarzenegger, the word Schwarzenegger means double nigger, by the way. When Arnold Schwarzenegger was removing the sun from his nose, what was he wearing? Does anyone remember what he was wearing? He was wearing something, and it's no coincidence, you know, he was wearing a turban. Now, a lot of people think turbans are very Indian and it's just Indian. Turbans are African in their origin. And I really believe that they put that message in that film to say that in terms of orientation, we are orientating your mindset in a certain kind of direction. And remember, they use the term total recall. Total recall simply means you've lost your memory and you're having a recall of who you, because remember, we're talking about masked off. Arnold Schwarzenegger's character was about regaining consciousness from who he thought he was one person, because the system told him was one person, but he wasn't. He was, in reality, trying to find out who he really was. And he had to use technology, and he had to cover his head, And he had to go and find out about the ancient civilizations of Mars. Now that's going a little bit deeper. And then the pyramids on Mars, and he had to get oxygen for the poor working class people on Mars. The movie has always been profound and very deep for me.
Powerful. So just a few things. I'm gonna jump off now, yeah, bro.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so I've obviously taken some time out, but please check out like some of my the 2 shows I was working on, which is Kevin Bennett's Trauma.
Yeah.
Which actually talks to people going through stress and trauma. That's it. Brilliant.
See it there?
And also,
it's like what them brothers do, the steep man them do. Sorry.
Yeah. And also Kevin Bennett's Narrative, which looks at situations as well. And also, yeah, so this book's definitely coming very soon. It's pretty much finished, but I've dragged my feet on it. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to jump off.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you for what you've been doing for our community as well, man, globally. You've been absolutely phenomenal. So I would truly, truly appreciate you. And yeah, we're going to do some amazing things. 100%. 100%.
We are. We're going to link up, bro. We're going to physically meet up as well before the year's done, hopefully. Before the calendar year's done. People stay with us, Black House Speakers Lounge, as we conclude. People follow Kevin Bennett on the gram. He's got some inspirational videos that he posts up. But we've got to stay up, people. Keep that frequency up. Thank you, Kevin, and condolences again, my brother. Yeah,
thank you.
You are a superhero in the community, bro. You're a superhero in the community, you know?
Thank you so much.
All right, my king. Love. Thank you, and we'll chat. All right, brother. Thank you. So that was our beloved guest, consistent Kevin Bennett. People, follow, like, subscribe right now. Follow us right now. Those of you who are not familiar with Black House Speakers Lounge, we'll break it down here. Follow us right now. I want to see the follow-up buttons. I want to see hearts and love signs for Kevin giving condolences. His brother did pass away, you know. Please follow us on the Black House Speakers Lounge. Follow Kevin as well. People, you know how we do. Look, man's wearing a turban, you know, fam. And these movies are written in a precise way. Precise way. We're talking about mask off. We need to now get to know what this meta thing is going on. We don't want to get distracted and go into that strange portal. What you want to do, what we want to do, what I want to do is create our own abundance, our own portal. You understand? Our own vortex that we can walk through. Let's not walk through this other nonsense that is going on right now. We don't need to walk into that energy. We've got another energy that we need to walk in. We know what the ancestors have done in the past. Well, a lot of us don't know. We still need to get to know more of that. But remember, we need to go forward. We need to go forward right now. Those of you that are feeling anxiety, those of you that are feeling afraid, this is the time where you need to be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. This is the time where you need to join on your prayer circles, jump on the WhatsApp and start your prayer groups, your meditation groups, your affirmation groups. Start opening up the portal for your mornings. Don't let anyone control your reality. You create your reality. That's the highest technology is spirituality. I'm going to say that again. The highest technology is spirituality. It's always been that way. Why do you think they put these spiritual symbols in movie, which are based upon the future? What? Look, why do you think they do it? Why do you think Matrix is all about spirituality? Yeah? And by the way, Matrix was meant to be our whole entire black cast. The Matrix movie, written by 2 brothers who have now transitioned into being what they choose to be. They are from Chicago. They were Wachowski brothers, now sisters. They were born in Chicago, influenced by the civil rights struggle of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, the civil rights, Medgar Evers and all that. They grew up around the struggle. They wanted the Matrix movie to be a whole black cast, and we're talking way before Panther. The Black Panther Marvel movie. Big up Black Panther Marvel movie. Yeah? They wanted Will Smith. He was offered and given the choice to do Neo, to become Neo. Trinity originally was going to be Jada Pinkett Smith. And Nairobi, who was played by Jada Pinkett Smith, was going to be Aaliyah's character, the late great Aaliyah who passed away. And Morpheus obviously was going to be played by Lawrence Fishburne, which is played by Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah? Neo represents new. Trinity represents the spiritual feminine energy Godhead. And Morpheus, where you get the word meta, we're talking about metamorphosis, talks about change. So when Zuckerberg and all them, and they're talking about we're going through change. We're in the age of Aquarius. Don't get drawn out by the madness that is going on right now. You notice they're using a lot of Greek alphabet. Omicron, we call it the Septicon, you know, Unicron, Unicorn, whatever you want to call it. Don't get drawn out by that. Yeah? You want to take it, you go and take it. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. But I won't be scared and coerced into taking something that I know nothing about. I know nothing about it. So I have a human right, Article 8 of the ECHR, Article 8 talks about the right to private and family life. There's also human rights as well. 1998, the Human Rights Act 1998. You do not need to be afraid, bro. Let's start reading up. You have the Equalities Act of 2010. You have the Public Health Act of 1984. Go and go read up. We are at war for our minds. It was a black woman called Sophia Stewart who wrote The Matrix. That's right. And guess what? Guess who inspired her to write The Matrix, the Neo character? Muhammad Ali. She was inspired by how he lived his life. Muhammad Ali. You see? So my point is, movies and technology and spirituality come together. Movies, spirituality and technology work together. I'm sick to death. I'm tired of hearing people get so spiritual and they think being spiritual means being broke. Hell no. Miss me with that. I'm spiritual. I am meditating. I'm fasting. And what? You better get rich. Being rich means being spiritual too. Being spiritual means being rich. They're all one of the same. Yeah, so you better get on your prayers, waking up in the morning. If you don't pray, meditate, do affirmations, because they're all one of the same thing. All of these people walking around, yeah, man, I have knowledge. I know about the ancestors. You cannot, our ancestors were wealthy, are wealthy. They're wealthy. We have to get wealth in knowledge, wealth in spirituality, abundance in health, abundance in money. Guess what, by the way? Did you know data is money? Money is data. Money is not paper. You are the money. You are the money. Yet paper money, that's a means of exchange. That's not real money. Oh, God. Why do you think they're getting rid of it? Oh, God, don't let me get started now. Real money is not paper. I'm going to prove it to you. It says it's a certificate printed by the bank. Well, not printed by the Bank of England, stored by the Bank of England. I promise to pay the bearer on demand. Money's called legal tender. Why is it not called lawful tender? Legal and lawful are two different things. We've spoken about this, and we're going to bring this out on the course. You are the money. You are the data. You don't just give away your data just like that. Oh, let me just consent. I'll consent. Give away. Give away. Give away your power? Why do you think they call it currency? Why is electricity called currency? Yeah, it's called an IOU. That's right. We are the money. And that's why when Kevin's talking about skilling up yourself, knowledging up yourself, teaching your children, he's telling what we're saying is that's how you become rich. Because when money goes, paper money, if you're not skilled up, if you're not knowledgeable up on what the time is, and don't know who you are as the Neo in this matrix, then you are truly broke. And we never use that word broke on ourselves. We're rich. We're truly rich. If you have life, you're rich. You have eyesight, you're rich. If you can breathe, you are already wealthy. We're going out there giving our time, which is the biggest currency, to something we don't enjoy doing on a Monday to Friday. And that's why they call it a weekday. So we're talking about the black pound. The real black pound is the data, your name, your energy, your true currency. That's what they call it. They hold money in a bank. Bank. I'm not going to bring no more people in because it's been too long. Sorry, I don't want to take the liberties with people's time. But you are rich. You are the money. Yeah? You are the currency. Another way of saying currency is current chi. Current chi. When you're talking about chi power in these martial arts movie, you know, when they're talking about the pagoda, the pyramid, the higher you go up. The game of death, Bruce Lee called it. Yeah? What was he telling us? Don't let me get deep. The higher you go up in martial arts, you become a black belt. Ooh, Jesus. Don't get me started, people, yo. Huh? There's a reason for everything. Everything is connected, yo. Data. Data. You're downloading and uploading. Do you think data started off with computer? Data or data, as my American cousins say. Data. You are the data. Why do you think Facebook do you think Facebook are rich just because you sign up? Why do you think Facebook and Instagram is free? Didn't your parents teach you be wary of anything that is free? I'm going to let that sink in. Be wary of anything that is free. Nothing is really free. Give and take, trade-off. So you give your data. They own everything that is on Instagram that you post, your children. Everything you post, they own. You've transferred your data and they are now in ownership of what you give. They own it. That is money. That's the real money. That's the real data. And that's the modern day slavery. Oh, God. Yeah, the avatar. Listen, they're killing it. YouTube, they're killing it. And I'm not saying it's evil. I'm not saying Facebook's evil. A lot of us have got this mindset, oh, yeah, it's evil, the Illuminati. No. Miss me with that as well. Miss me with that. Them broke pocket talk, miss me with that. Because there's a lot of people that have read books. And miss me with it. Miss me with all of that. Yes? Miss me with that. Use it. Why do you think David, in the Bible, how did he kill Goliath? He used his sword against him. We've got to use this. Use the data. Use this technology, the meta. Use movies to educate your children. Don't tell them they can't watch TV. Just be careful of what they watch. We've got to use it. Yeah? So let's go. If you don't know nothing about what Kevin was describing, just go back, play this video, go and study. Study. What did Neo have to do in the Matrix? He had to plug himself in. He plugged himself in, and what did he do? He woke up and said, I know Kung Fu. Kung Fu, not literal Kung Fu, even though that's great, but Kung Fu of the mind. He had to understand technology, man. And more importantly, what did Neo have to do? He had to believe in himself. Yo, he had to believe in himself. He had to know. He had to know the path. Big up Sheeda, I see you. Big up everyone that's jumping in right now. Share this video once it's done. Share this live with everybody, man. Because if we're going to go to 2020, bless you, we have to open up our own dimension and walk into that, man. Don't just go, look, 2022, start it now. Don't wait for that clock to, stop this. 10, 9, 8, stop that. You better start that. You better start that thing now. Remember what Kevin said? Don't burn it, because I don't want to burn down the house. I don't want the fire alarm to go off in a yard and fire brigade to come. I don't want people to, I don't want Boris Johnson to think that you're having a split party, something's burning. Don't do that. Don't burn your matches. But what Kevin was saying, get rid of the old things. Go through a cleanse, people. Spirituality, technology, and wealth are one and the same thing. You cannot expect to move on by holding on to old things. And I'm going to go further to say, if you got a gift from your ex-toxic, domestic, abusive boyfriend or girlfriend, get rid of it. But he bought me a car. Exchange it. Exchange it. I'm not saying just, obviously, be practical. Exchange it. They bought you things. Get rid of it. Move on into the next year, cleansing. Some of us have got stuff under our mattress, man. Get rid of that. Some of you got gifts from your exes, and you're still holding on to it. A watch, a Rolex watch, and all these things. Okay, get rid of it. Otherwise, the attachment of that energy is going to stay in your life, and it's going to create a blockage, and you won't be able to move on into something new. I'm telling you, we've got to get rid of these blockages, people, me included. Get rid of them. I don't care if it's a bathroom mat that your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Some of you are saying, oh, well, you believe in the jab. I believe in immunity as well. I just believe in natural immunity. Natural, spiritual, and physical immunity. Get rid of it. You're justifying why you should hold it, man. Why are you holding it for? Because you're still spiritually attached. But you want an in hand. I want an in hand. You cannot have something new if you've got something old. Yo, even the Bible says, yeah, Christians, even the Bible says, you can't put new wine into old wineskin. You can't listen, yo, let me drink this. Everybody follow us, man, because we don't do nonsense over here. We don't do no kiki ha-ha over here. We talk facts. You cannot put clean water into dirty glass, man. You must wash the glass or get a clean one. You cannot do that. Otherwise, guess what will happen? You put clean water into dirty glass. What's going to happen? You're going to contaminate it. Fam, let me tell you something. Please, get rid of the slippers then. Oh, my ex-boyfriend bought it for me. But I'm still getting a Christmas present. But I'm still going out. We still see each other. You will never move on. You're missing out on your opportunities. You got to let go. We're going to let go. Something's telling me we've got to let go. Let go of the scare them posse. I call Tory parties called the scare them crew. I call Boris Johnson and them the scare them crew because they're trying to scare people. Yeah, I don't care which way you want to twist it. They're called the scare them crew. And I'm not talking about Elephant Man and them. I'm talking about Boris Johnson and them. Yeah? They're the scare them crew. Just lock off your TV. Yo, I don't care if you got a big TV and your ex-boyfriend or ex-wife or husband bought it for you. Exchange it. Exchange it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. If you want to move on anyway, if you want that meta, that change, me included, we got to get rid. Don't burn nothing down. Don't do that. I don't care if it's a Rolls Royce if your ex, but yo, go and exchange it. You can get something else. Exchange it for another Rolls Royce. But this time you own it. Outside, out of mind. You cannot move on. And I'm not talking about these relationships. I'm talking about in general. Some of you still got your old ID cards to the jobs that you used to work in. Why you still got that for on your desk? Get rid of it. Boris fear about the elephant man. Why have you still got your old ID card from the job you used to have? Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid. Listen. Duppies are, you know what Duppy and to all my white friends, Duppy, you know what it means, ghosts. Ghosts are in your yard. The ghosts of Christmas past are in your yard because we're holding on to old doo-doo. Yeah? And by the way, if you ain't got the money for Christmas, why are you worrying for? It's only one day. What are you doing? Use it as a family day. Personally, I don't do Christmas. I do family day. I don't go out there. Listen, I spend my money. If I want to get anyone anything, Boxing Day. Boxing Day, half price, slash everything down. They robbed you the day before. Now everything's half price. Yo, don't pressure yourself, man. A lot of people are going through a lot of depression because they're spending money, they're getting into debt. What are you doing? You are the money. Family day. Don't let the government frighten you from seeing your family. If you're worried about catching anything, vitamin D, zinc, magnesium. Gonna say it again. Vitamin D, zinc, magnesium. I'm gonna say it again. Vitamin D, zinc, magnesium. I did it in a rhyming way. So you remember, vitamin D, zinc, magnesium. Magnesium. I'm on a high tonight, people. Get that oxygen in. Everybody I'm hearing about is sick, but it's flu season. You'll be all right. Drink the water, not government juice. Drink the water. Exercise. Go for a walk. Lock off TV. Go and see your loved ones. People, fire your vibration up. Meta up your vibe. There's no other technology better than this. Yeah? Go and see your family whether you celebrate Christmas or not. And if they're saying, oh, are you jabbed or not? Burn that. Burn all of that. Go and see your loved ones. Go and see your granny. You're not going to kill your granny. Oh my God. You see how they're frightening us? You better not hug your granny because you might have it. What do you mean you might have it? It's either you got it or you ain't got it. That's like saying, let me give you something I ain't got. You cannot, if you ain't got no money in the bank, the physical bank, how are you going to give someone something you ain't got? Then you're minus. Okay, that'll be minus, but you ain't got it. Just eat healthy. Don't be eating up down around the Christmas table, eating madness. And listen, if we ever really knew what Christmas meant, that's another subject altogether. Then. But I'm not going to tell you not to celebrate. Go and celebrate with your family. You don't have to have your children sitting on some strange dude's lap. None of you have got a chimney where a man's coming down. Anyway, any man that come in your yard at night time, I box him if he get boxed down. You see me? Said Nick. What is it coming to Nick? Yeah? You ain't going to have your children sitting on some Jimmy Savile type of dude's lap. You worked all year round to give your children what they're getting. PlayStation, Nintendo and all that stuff. Not no man from the north. You better social distance himself from your yard. Yes? All right, people, I think I've chatted enough, I think I've talked enough. But yeah, just get rid to take on the new. Mask off. Yeah? Mask off. Yes? Let's deal with who we really are. You are the data. You are the money. You don't have to give it away. You don't have to give away your rights. You don't just to go into a pub or football or boxing. Big up. I saw some boxing yesterday. Boy, Tyron Woodley, man. Anyway, you don't have to give up. You don't have to give up your data like that, man. If anyone has to threaten you to do anything, it's not real. Something's dodgy about it, hold back. Look into it. You have rights. And I'm going to put out there, you can be medically exempt. That's another subject. You can be exempt. You can be exempt. Yeah? So just enjoy the season. We're in a full moon. Look after yourself. Love each other, man. Tell each other. Forgive yourself and forgive each other. A lot of us are going through a lot of stuff. And it's okay to cry, by the way. It's all right to have a cry. Crying is releasing. You need to do that. I do it. I've done it. I bawl, then I'm all right. Yes, I'm a man and I cry. I cried yesterday. Yes. And I feel so much better. Then my sister called me up and said, yeah, come we're going to see two Spider-Man. Is it? I'm good. It's good. You feel better, man. Let it out of your system. Get rid to accept the new. That's the way forward. Please follow us right now. Follow us this Instagram because we need more larger audiences. We need to get this around. Share this video with everyone. It's important. It's a very important message. You are the money. You are never broke. How dare you say you're broke? You're never broke. You're rich. You were born rich from this universe. Trust me. Yeah? But definitely, I'm looking forward to. We're going to do a matrix talk on this thing. We're going to look at it because there's some deepness. Keep taking the red pill of truth, people. Don't go to sleep. The blue pill is fear. The red pill is love. The blue pill is fear. The red pill is love. Remember that. And you're getting pure red pills. May I shut them out for free. A red pill every week at Black Car Speakers Lounge. And how can we be medically exempt? Where do I get the information from? I can tell you, if you these are the protective characteristics very quickly before we close. Karen, read, because a lot of us don't know, and I give thanks to God for blessing me with that knowledge that I can share that, and I give thanks to the Most High. All credit goes to the Most High, by the way. I don't take no credit. It's Him that blessed me up and inspired me. Check it out. If you're autistic, if you have learning disabilities, that's right. If you are suffering from any heart inflammation, if you suffer, from learning disabilities, if you're an ethical vegan in America, ethical vegan, if you have any heart inflammation disabilities, anxiety, myocarditis, look it up. And there's been a lot of reports of people with heart attacks. Come on, let's stop the cap. There's a lot of people who have had heart attacks now as a result. Yeah? So if you have any heart condition, if you are autistic, ADHD, if you take any other medicines, or if you genuinely feel that you have not had enough informed consent, talk to your doctor, dial 119 and ask for medical exemption. 119 medical exemption. Ethical vegan means that, for example, you don't wear leather shoes, leather couch, leather belt. But people, we've got a course that we're constructing together. You do not have to be coerced to take anything you don't want. We have until, they said, you can make a self-declaration, by the way, before the 24th. I'm not going to go into it all right now, but we've got time and we've got a course coming out. The course will be coming out next year early. Follow this page now if you want to know about the course. That will help you with exemption. Follow right now. Follow this channel right now, and we're going to give you the tips on how to be exempt everywhere. Legally, lawfully, medically. Follow it right now, and then you will know. Yeah, because there's not enough time to go into it right now, but share this video, follow, like, and subscribe. See you next week. Stay blessed. You are the data. You are the money. Get rid of the old, accept the new, because you are new. You are the scriptwriter of your own play called life, and you've won already. Peace. My name's Courtney Winston. Subscribe. Black House Speakers Lounge. Yo, peace. Subscribe for that course, because it's coming. It's big in the game. Peace. God bless.